Hey everyone, we are Bean and Bagel. We are a married couple from the Midwest in the U.S. I'm from the land where God placed his hand on the earth and blessed it, which is Michigan. She's from the land where God casted everybody away to freeze forever, which is Minnesota. Today we're continuing our series of the Us Journal, which is a book that couples can go through and answer questions and argue with one another about what they believe or love each other more or agreeing on what they think. We wanted to connect better with our audience because we do say that we're a married couple, which we are. We're not lying about that. But we figured that we would connect better with our audience. And we're not going to deviate away from our channel, as far as only doing these kind of things, because I don't know if I could handle always doing romantic things because I'm a guy. But so we will still be doing food videos, so don't worry about that. We're going to post a couple of these videos per month, and we're going to go page by page through the book. But if you're wondering, as you're following along, like, hey, they didn't answer this question. Some questions we're not going to answer because we don't feel that our entire lives need to be in the public eye. So we believe that love, there is also an intimate part of love that everybody doesn't need to know about. So that's why, if you notice that we skip a question.
For sure. So we are on page 11. So the next question is a true or false. And it says, I believe in fate and destiny. True or false?
I'm going to say true. I think the reason why I would say that is because I didn't have a choice to be born. So when my parents got it on, I didn't have a choice in the matter of whether I was going to pop out of my mom or not. So to me, that's kind of fate that's outside my control. I'm on Earth. But now that I'm here, I would say destiny is kind of in my hands. So what I choose to do with my life from that point could be considered destiny. So that's why I think true.
Okay. Yeah, and I would also answer true. I do think this question is pretty deep. It's kind of getting at what you believe, as far as like higher power, God, all that kind of stuff, which I do believe in God and that God had a hand in bringing us together. So I would answer true, because we lived in different states and, circumstances and choices. Like Greg said, I do think it's a combination, of like fate or God is involved, but then it's also individual choices that you make that help to bring those things to fruition. So yeah, I would definitely say true. So
I think that's a good point, because fate can also happen during life, which I think is what you're saying.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things that connected the dots that we didn't have a lot of control over.
For sure.
And we ultimately met one another, which is actually an interesting story. I met her when my car broke down in the middle of traffic, and I didn't have a cell phone on me, and I wandered over to a department store where she happened to be. Long story short, I asked her to use the phone so I could call a tow, and we've been together ever since. So in a way, that is fate.
Yeah, because we had actually met each other briefly, but we didn't really know each other. But through the circumstance of the car breaking down, which you obviously didn't choose, I was there. And yeah, so I think there's definitely some fate involved with that one. But yeah, that's a fun question. The next one is, it is possible to be in love with more than one person at the same time. True or false?
I'm going to say true on that one too. I think that, so initially my mind goes to, I could love my parents, I could love my friends, I could love someone romantically, but the question says in love. So I'm not in love with my parents or in love with my friends. But I do believe that you can be in love with somebody and then romantically in love with somebody. Because there's a lot of people that can impact our lives and they know us through and through, and you can be in love with them, but it doesn't mean that you are romantically in love with them. While others, they do the same thing, but it's like a notch above of being in love with them. You're then romantically in love with them. So
The question doesn't say, are you romantically in love with someone? It just says in love.
and I said true.
So, for me, I would also say true, but I think there's kind of some caveats with that answer. So, like I was saying, the question says it is possible to be in love with more than one person at the same time. And to me, in love means more of like feelings of love, not necessarily like this deep, committed kind of love. So I think, yeah, it's possible to have like these feelings of being in love with more than one person. But I think when it comes down to like the true, sacrificial, deep, committed love, you probably wouldn't have that with more than one person, because most likely you shouldn't want to hurt that person, and you being in love with someone else would probably hurt that person. So I don't think that it's true in that case. But if you're just saying, like the question says, in love, then yes, that's possible with more than one person at the same time.
Well, maybe that's what I mean by romantically.
Yeah.
So like you have a commitment level of how far in love you'll go.
Yeah. Makes sense. Well, that is where we're going to leave it for today. And thanks so much for watching, following along with us, and we will see you in the next video. Bye!
See ya!